Now, let's learn how to use Pandas. Pandas is simply a Python library that does these simple things. First, Pandas is useful in data analysis and data transformation. I'll just focus on those two for a while. And the reason why I choose those two, for beginner, that's most that's something that's an exercise, or rather, this is an exercise that a beginner can definitely do to understand this library. So let's go straight to coding. First and foremost, we import pandas as PD. Okay, PD. Okay, we have an error here, of course, because we imported, did not add us here. PD. PD. Sorry for that. Pandas as PD. And NumPy, yeah, let me just add NumPy for the sake. Import NumPy as NP. Again, that's handful in calculations, but I don't think we'll use it for this demonstration. So first things first, I have a file, okay, that has what we'll be dealing with, okay, and I've named it in this folder. This is YouTube. The YouTube folder is on the my desktop. You will see YouTube folder, and this is what you're this is the data that we'll be seeing, or rather that we'll be using. Okay, I want you guys to let me drag it here. So it's basically XAU open, XAU close, XAU high, XAU low, DXY open, DXY close, all that, and finally our ATR of of course XAUUSD. So let's close this for a while and let's go straight to how we can use that file. Okay. First things first, we'll create a variable known as data frame, and in this variable we'll add all those contents that I just showed you. So this is simple because it's pd.read CSV. You'll see it here. .read CSV, and inside here we'll simply take the name of that CSV, and let me show something. Simply take that, and it's a string. So, and again, don't forget to, let me show you what I mean. If you run that, of course, that will be an error because you've not added the file extension, which is .csv. Okay. So now we are running with 0 errors. Okay. So next thing we are gonna do here is simply now manipulate this data. Okay. First and foremost, we have data stored there. Okay. We may want to read to see what's if the file that we read is blank or has something. So that's simple because you only use this command, data frame head. Okay. So when I run this code, basically what I'll see is the first 5 rows of that CSV file. Let's run that and see. You can see we have XAU open, XAU close, XAU high, XAU low, all that to the end. Okay, and the reason why you're seeing these as NAN is simply because that was empty. Let me open that file so that you guys can see why that's NA. You can see the first around 14 are empty, and this is because we are calculating the ATR of 14. Okay, if you count these are 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, the 14th. Okay, so yeah, let's close that for a while. We'll come there later. Also, if you want to see the last five, the last five rows, that's also simple because you simply do df.tail, df.tail, you can see here, dot tail, and simply add that and run that. You can see our last row is that, okay? And now you can see the ATR values are of course filled in. Okay, so now you know how to read the head and the tail. So let's go straight to the next thing. What if I wanted to plot, let's say, something like this? XAUUSD open. I wanted to plot these in a graph, okay? Because that's most of what we'll be doing here. So that again is very simple. Let us even do this in a new box. So this let's do something that maybe can be in handy. This is known as a markdown. Okay, now you can simply explain what will be happening in the next box. So let's do this. Let's write plotting. Let's plot one of these. Let's plot XAU high, right? You can plot XAU high, XAU high. You can basically write anything here, and to run Shift Enter, you can see. Now make sure that this is not a Markov file. I mean, this is not Markov. Make sure it's somewhere that we can write code. You can add. You can click Add, and let's now go to the plotting part. Now our aim here is to plot XAU high, these numbers here, okay, or rather this, okay. So that's simple because let's first we have to first of all let's identify that column, okay, and that's simple because the name of the column is XAUUSD high, okay. In let's make sure that in a string XAUUSD underscore high, okay. So we have that, okay, dot plot and brackets. So what kind of a plot are we doing? So for the basic thing or the most used is a line, okay. So you simply make sure that we tell Python that you're plotting a line, okay. And um, what's our title of this plotting, okay. That's simple again because you simply say title, okay, is equals to we can name it anything, but for our case here we'll name it XAU high, okay. XAU high underscore high, okay. And that again reminded me that I made an error here. I should be high. So, and our flag size is simply the size of our box, or rather our graph, okay. So that's simple also because flag size is let's use the most used, which is 10 by 5, okay. Yeah, and finally our color. For our color, let's go with black. I think black only makes sense, okay. So again, a string black, okay. So basically, when we run this code, we are supposed to get a graph of the XAU high, this, and we'll plot, and our title will be this, and our size will be this, and our color for the line will be black. Let's see if we have any errors. We had an error. Let's see where our error is. Okay, let's try. Oh yeah, I see. I now see where the error is. XAU USD underscore I. Of course, let's run that. Yeah, now you can see we plotted our high. So next thing, how can we add a column to this? Okay, how can we add an extra column to this? And even to make it sweeter, let's fill that column with something. Okay, so let's just say we want to minus the high and the low, and we get that spread and store it in a column, okay, which will be next to our ATR column. So that's simple because you simply say on our data frame, okay, let's add a column, and let's call that column something like spreads. Okay, call that column spreads. Let's run that. Let's equate this to something. Let's equate that to 0. Okay, now when you run head, you will definitely see it. Data frame head dot head, yani, dot head. Let's run that. You can see our spread is 0. Okay, our column is 0. It's not filled with anything. Okay, so um, let's now fill it with something. Okay, and for our case, we fill it with the difference between XAU high and XAU low. Okay, so that's simple because we're going to a column that we already have. Okay, sorry for that. Let's so XAU high, XAU USD underscore high, okay, minus XAUUSD underscore low. Low. So when you run this, it will get the difference between XAUUSD high and XAUUSD high and XAUUSD low, and again add that to the spreads part. Okay, so let's run that and see if we have any errors. No errors. So now when we say df dot head, we'll definitely see spreads filled. Okay, you can see it's filled well. So let's try to plot spreads and see. Okay, we can, there's no need of repeating that because you can copy that, paste that here. Let's even paste that here and simply change this to this. Yeah, simple, it's simple. Copy and paste. Okay, you can see. Okay, what are spreads? You can change these to prices to spreads and visualize. Okay, now I think that's it, and